In this video, I discuss with expats that live in Medellin what life is really like living in Medellin. Follow along.
Hey, watching man right now, you're watching dcbornrob on YouTube.
Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located. Thanks for watching. My name is Rob Christian, also known as dcbornrob, DC Rob. I answer to them all. Thank you guys for watching. If you ever get any benefit out of my videos, do me a favor. Go down and hit the subscribe button, click the bell to be alerted of every new video, and like. Like helps the YouTube algorithm. The more you hit like, the more people get to see this video. I'm going to jump into a good conversation that I had with a few expats that live in Medellin, Colombia. I asked them some good questions and they had some exceptional answers. So before I get to that right quick, I want to say thank you to a few people, those who have donated to my channel in the last month or so. And I'm going to do this on the regular now to have to get my stuff together, guys. Okay, so Larry G, Andrew B, Terrence A, Dennis M, Terrence T.K. Robinson, HD Chillin, Reginald S, and Kalolo, of course. Thank you guys so much. Also, my super chat people like Bonson, Dennis P, Ultraman, Big Marcus, J Love, Yo Trey, Matthew, Lord Hybrid. Thank you so much. And Ahmed P and Brisk Clown also. Thank you guys so much. I also did a poll on my channel the other day. Shocked. I did a poll after dealing with this last deal with the gentleman, Mr. J, saying that on another channel, by the way, he said that he slept with this girl without a condom on. I don't believe that, saying that she was a working girl. So I put up the question in the community tab, who would sleep with a known prostitute without a condom? Who? I figured it'd be 100% no way. I should have done a heck no, hell no, whatever. But here's the poll results. Out of 63 people that answered, 10% said yes.
Oh.
They would sleep with a prostitute without a condom. I don't know if they're joking, but this is what the answers were. There was also 8% that said maybe. I mean, somebody comment and tell me, comment in this video, am I tripping? Am I losing it? And that, let's see, 83% said no. I thought this would be closer to 99.9%. So it goes to show what I know. People would actually go to Colombia and sleep with a known prostitute without a condom on. What year is this again? I'm missing something. Anyway, let me jump into this discussion because this is a good one. This is from people who live there. I ask good questions. Am I giving good advice? Is my news too bad? All this is coming up right here. So follow along. So, okay, guys. Hey, I appreciate you all joining me. I have a few special guests. Like I said, I have Steven from Stesworld. You may have seen him in our video a couple of weeks ago. When we discussed the Stevenson brothers, but he lives there most of the time. So I asked him to jump on with us and is dating a Latina there. So we'll get into all his personal business. No, I'm just kidding. And we have Hamilton next. And he actually was you'll see him in the video of me walking around Parque Lleras my last day. So he walked with us that night. And then I have Andres, my guide. Everybody should know, probably 10 to 20% of my viewers would know who you are if you pick them up, because he has his own tour company there in Colombia, and either he picks you up from the airport, he does airport pickups and drop offs, so either he picks you up or he sends someone else to pick you up or drop you off. So welcome to the show, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you very much, Rob.
Good. So hopefully everybody's good, and I appreciate you guys for jumping on, especially some of you like Andres with much short notice. But so first of all, so Steven, how old are you?
I'm currently 37 years old.
Okay, 37. Then I have Hammer. How old are you?
I'm 60.
60, man, you right above me. Okay, Andres?
I'm 26, Rob.
How old?
26.
You say 26?
Yeah.
I didn't know you 3 years. I didn't know you were 26. You were 23 when I met you. I didn't know that, man. He's so old and wise in his age. He knows this city inside and out too. So again, if you're coming to Medellin, Colombia, this is my guy for tours. Okay. So I'm gonna jump right in. I'm gonna ask some questions, may be good, may not be good. You're welcome to answer, welcome to say pass and go on to the next person. But again, Stephen, you're up first on this one. And well, what part of Medellin do you live in when you stay there?
Normally, when I go to Medellin, I stay in a regular average Joe barrio in the northern part of the city called Robledo Kennedy. When I say that name of that neighborhood, a lot of people get afraid because this is kind of like a hot spot, especially in the nighttime. Certain parts of that neighborhood is sketchy. They have like gangs over there. But normally, because when I stay there, I stay there with my girlfriend. She knows the area. I blend in very well with the locals, and plus I know Spanish very well. So hanging out in the area, it feels safe, to be honest. I never feel threatened. I feel safe overall, and it's a nice community, nice neighborhood. Normally it's local hardworking people from the city that lives there in that area.
Okay. So Hannah, I don't know if you will let me know by the time we finish this. You've actually sent me a video before, which I showed in one of my lives of your apartment. Hannah's living large. My man is living the life, living the dream. So what part of Medellin do you live in?
I live in Poblado. It's up above El Tesoro Mall. It's in an area called La Calera. It's a very beautiful area. It's up sort of in the mountains.
Yeah, and he's a hiker too, and you know that because he's living on the side of the mountain now.
Yeah,
okay,
definitely on the side of the mountain.
What part of Medellin are you living in? Poblado?
Yes.
Andres?
Oh, me. No, I switch between Poblado and Rio Negro, so very close to the airport. That's where I spend most of the time. And when I spend more time in Medellin or I stay the night, things like that, I stay around Poblado, around Parque Lleras.
Okay. We were just talking about tours, and Hammer was saying he needed to hook up with you to do some of the tours. He said he's never climbed Tres Cruces before. You take him up there. He says he's a hiker. Show him what that hike is not. We checked it. It's I forgot what the height is, but we've been my girl and I have been hiking lately and up some mountains, and she wants to do this volcano in Guatemala. I've done one. I thought I was going to die, so I'm not in a rush to do it anymore.
It's a good
so here's the big question. Let me start off with a heavy question, because I focus a lot on safety for travelers who are coming to Medellin. I've done videos recently about getting got, about being robbed and drugged. So I want to know your opinion, and feel free to slam any video I've done or tell me the truth as you see it versus how I saw it. So let me know. But the question is, and I'll go with you first, Stephen, is Medellin dangerous?
In my point of view, overall, I don't see it as dangerous. Like any other cities around the world, especially here in the United States, there are some areas that's very sketchy, and there's some areas that is very safe. Most of the time when I'm down there, I always felt safe, especially if I'm acting like a local. Like for example, here in the United States, we take out our phone a lot out in the street. We feel safe that somebody's not going to rob us, but I cannot do that let's say in the city. If I do that in the city, somebody might be staring at me, and then out of nowhere, they could like snatch my phone and run away with it. So overall, I do feel safe every time when I travel down there. I never felt threatened. I mean, just behave like a regular local down there. Just don't, like they say down there, do not show papaya.
Yep. And I think the same. I will say I felt a difference between 3 years ago and now. But the main thing is I can't pull my camera. I don't feel comfortable pulling out my cell phone on my camera. Other than that, I'm straight, because we know, let's be honest, most of the issues that people have are surrounding a certain activity. Let's say we all know what that is. So Hammer, what's your thoughts? Is it dangerous?
I don't think it's any more dangerous than any other big city. mean, there's over 3 million people that live in Medellin, and to think they're all saints is just plain foolish. I think what's dangerous is the activity and the people you surround yourself with. I mean, if you're gonna hang out till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, the chance of something happening to you goes up tenfold. I mean, if you're, just go out, do regular stuff, you're home in bed at 9 o'clock, 9:30 every night like me, I mean, the chance of something happening to you is very slim. I mean, people always think the United States is the standard of safety. I mean, but if you ask the people in Texas or ask the people up in, New York, what happened in the last couple of weeks, and they'll have a different story for you. So I don't think Medellin is any more dangerous or any less dangerous than any other major city with, over 3 million people living there. I just think it's how you conduct yourself and where you hang out at. I mean, when I came down here, nobody had to tell me not to hang out in El Centro at night. Nobody had to tell me that. I mean, that's just common sense. I mean, no one had to tell me to go hang out at Parque Lleras at 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, again, that's just common sense. So if you come down here and you act like a normal person, you just do regular things, I don't think you're at any more risk than you would be in any other major city.
There you go. Exactly. How about you, Andres? You born and raised. So what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I pretty much think the same as my partners here. It's all about how you surround yourself. And what I always tell people is you are very cautious back home. Everyone's cautious, right? Everyone has certain standard on what they do and what they don't, who they bring home and who they don't, who they talk to in the streets or they don't. So just try to do the same here. Just don't let your guard down, and just as same as you do back home, just do it here. Just keep your guard on, and just don't pretend to make friends immediately. Or if a super pretty girl and sexy girl approaches you, being super nice to you, for example, in lleras, which is very common to happen, be suspicious, man. That's not very normal. That is not normal at all. Where in the world is that normal, that a genuine talk starts like that? It's not normal. So just be suspicious and keep your guard on.
Exactly. Like here, if a girl comes up to you, like some of them girls that, we're talking 9.9 and some 10s, walks up to you and, hey, how you doing? I mean, that just don't happen here. I mean, it don't happen to me. Yeah. Now, I'm dating somebody, but they don't know. So it still don't happen. Men here have to be the aggressor. We don't have them walk up to you. So yeah, there's one point. If they're walking up to you and you're in lleras, and be mindful of the time too. You're up there 2 o'clock in the morning. And like we said in the last couple of videos, too much positive happens after 3 a.m. in the morning or 2 a.m. in the morning or whenever. So just be on guard. It's not like any different place. I think a lot of guys think, I'm on vacation, and when you normally go on vacation, you can let all your cares go and you can walk on the beach and you don't have to worry about that. But it's a major city. So it's like vacationing in New York. You can't do the same thing in New York, or DC. You just can't. And I mean, I'm in Texas. So the shooting of the 20 some odd kids or however many kids it was and the 2 teachers is about an hour and a half for me. So that's not happening anywhere else except here. I mean, think about it. We can't even send our kids to school. So when we start talking about danger and things like that, most of the danger for the adults, they put themselves in that position. Here, just going to school, it's not a positive thing. So yeah, we've had some issues here recently though. But let me go back again and I'll circle back around before I switch the direction. But Stephen, what do you think, what do your friends and families think of you going to Colombia or spending time in Colombia? Do they say, oh man, you can't, do they watch the news and tell you and know the history? And I'm going to ask Andres the history because he's our history guy here today. But do they get on you about where you're going? Call us. How do they interact with you regarding you staying in Colombia, in Medellin?
Well, now they're more relaxed, but I remember my first time that I went to Colombia. This was back in 2009 or 2010. The first time I went over there, my whole entire family, they were going crazy. They're like, why are you going to Colombia? You remember the history of Colombia, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's not safe. And every time when I go down there and come back, I mean, they're kind of like more relief. So now maybe one or two, let's say my grandmother, she's the only one out of my entire family that still gets paranoid when I go down there. But overall, my family, they feel that, okay, Colombia's all right. Now they have more Colombians friends that they moved to the United States. So they talk to them, they get a sense how it is down there. So overall now, they kind of feel okay. They kind of feel, okay, Steven's going to stay with somebody that he knows for a long time already. And Steven, every time when he goes, I mean, he always come back safe. So you know what? It's all right. That's how they feel right now. The majority of them, they feel, okay, Steven could go down there. He's not going to be that danger, except for my grandma. My grandmother's the only one that still gets paranoid. Oh, why are you going down there? Oh, don't stay down there. Oh, you don't see what's going on in the news and etc. That's about it.
Yeah, that's not going to change, unfortunately. You know, I still have my mom doing the same thing, so I get it. How about you, Hammer?
Man, I gotta tell you, my friends and family thought I was off my rocker. They thought I had completely lost my mind when I told them I was moving to Colombia. They could not believe it and still don't believe it. I mean, the question I get asked the most, you know, is it dangerous? And it's funny you bring this up. My brother was just here. I mean, he left on Tuesday. It was his first time in Colombia ever. I mean, he came down here. His first couple of days, he stuck to me like glue. You know, he was just so nervous of being down here. And I said, look, you know, just relax. You know, just be yourself. These people are just like you and I. They get up, they go to work, they go home, they have families, they have friends, you know, just like we do. And the majority of people like that. I mean, there's people down here that get up every day, go to work, you know, go home, and nothing happens to them. And my brother came down here. He was here for 5 days and he absolutely loved it. He fell in love with the place. He fell in love with the weather. He fell in love with the culture. I took him around, you know, showed him out a little bit. You know, he was here for a very short period of time, so we didn't get to do a whole lot. But when he came down here, the one thing that he was worried about, you know, was his cell phone. He heard all the stories about, you know, don't walk around talking on your cell phone. But I got to tell you, everywhere I go, I see people on a cell phone. Everybody on the planet has a cell phone. Everybody does. You know, so to say don't walk around with your cell phone is just, you know, I think it's, I wouldn't say it's crazy, but I just think it's just some fairy tale. Everybody has a cell phone. Everywhere I go, I see people with their cell phone. I'm probably the only person that's not on their cell phone because I've always got my head up. I'm always looking around. It's not because of fear or anything like that. It's just how I am. I don't walk around talking to my cell phone. I don't have anybody really to talk to, you know, so that's kind of how I view it.
Okay, follow-up question for you. Your brother came to town. Did you take him to Parque Lleras?
I did.
Everybody comes there. He did some investigating too. He's seen some videos. Hell, he probably saw the video of you with me that night. So he's like, yeah, I want to go see that. So I'm sure every visitor wants to go to Parque Lleras, whether they're single, guys, girls, doesn't matter. Everybody wants to go. It is. I mean, it's an amazing area. I've been all around the world and I haven't seen any place that can duplicate that, especially go back 5 years when I first came here. It was just, it blew my mind. And it wasn't like it is now. There was no 2-year lockdown before that. So the stress wasn't out there. So yeah, I figured just wanted to know, everybody needs to go. But Andres, okay, so you're born and raised and lived there. So obviously you don't have any family worrying about that. Matter of fact, you come here. This way you come here to vacate and then head back there. So what's your thoughts? I mean, safety, is it, I mean, what's your thoughts as far as living there and being a resident there and also being a tour guide? So you may hear it from some visitors too. When you pick them up at the airport, they may be a little sketched out from watching the videos. But what's your thoughts?
No, same. Just like I told you before, I tell them to just act as they act back home. Just don't show up too much or like show off, right? Just don't. Here in Medellin, you rarely see someone, for example, wearing gold chains very visibly, for example. So things like that, right? And one thing is, like, when you travel as well, just look around and try to blend in, right? Just try to act as other people act, and you'll be fine. And also, I always tell them about that. Just be suspicious when someone is way too kind of you out of nowhere. So be aware of those situations that you can easily avoid. If you feel like that, if someone approaches you like that, just say no and just walk away. And that's it. Just try to be in a good surrounding. And immediately, if you feel unsafe, just walk away. And I'm telling you, I don't know, in my opinion, it is hard for me to feel unsafe. And I know it is a different point of view because I live here, but trust me, in Parque Lleras, they talk to me in English. So I'm easily confused with someone from another part of the world. So I could end up in an unsafe situation, and I haven't yet. And I do feel very safe.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. You know, sometimes when you are from an area, you know, like I walk around certain neighborhoods that I grew up in that others may not, but it's because I know it. And it's just, I mean, you have that lack of fear and you have that lack of worry. So, and that's how everybody, I think, should go down and live and enjoy it that way. I have a big question for everybody, and I'll start with you, Andres, and don't worry about throwing me under the bus. But what do you think about, well, you know it's on the news, so you know I get my stories from the news. But what do you think about my videos? Do you think it helps people stay safe? Do you think it instills fear? Do you think both? Or what are your thoughts?
I think it definitely helps people stay safe because it is really important to know what is happening and know what can happen if you're exposed to certain situations. It is different to say, okay, it happened to me, but I was warned. Somebody told me about this. It is different when it happens and you say, okay, am I the only one who went through this? It is different. So definitely it helps people stay safe. I think it could be a bit more balance on in terms of type of news, right? Which is like any news paper or any news show will do, right? They wouldn't try to go in the same topic all the time. And I think there could be more balance in terms of that and show other types of news and things that are also useful. Not saying that this is not, it's very useful. But I think we have discussed about it.
Yeah, we have. And I've asked everybody too, what are your thoughts about the videos that I'm doing? Is it because I used to be accused of saying, and other YouTubers too, of saying it's too rosy. You're telling people go down there and not to worry, and it's great, and it's great, and it's great. And then you read the news and you see what happened. So I got grief for that. And now I know if I put up, 2 or 3 videos of somebody that got and it's a legitimate story, then I hear from that side too. So it's a balancing act sometimes. But if anybody who's watching this video has some good news that others may need to watch, or put it this way, would watch, because there are some things down there that are happening just in general for Medellin and for Colombia that I could easily report on, but I know I'd get 50 views. So if I do 50 views on something that people don't care about, then I have to rearrange my thoughts, So I do enough videos. I've done over, right now, I think 525, so somewhere around there. I hit over 500 like a month or so ago. So I had another 20 onto that or whatever it is. So I have to be conscious of what I'm putting out, but I want people to see whatever I put out. So I don't put out a video with the anticipation that nobody's going to see it. I'm hoping that somebody sees it and gets benefit from it. If they get benefit from it, hit the subscribe button, click the bell. But if not, I get feedback. Lord knows I get feedback. They'll either tear me apart or tear one of the guests apart, or, which, by the way, it's very difficult to get people to come on when you go after them sometimes. So just keep that in mind. If you want me to get good interviews, you got to appreciate the content. There you go. What about you, Hammer? Do you think I'm doing a good job? Do you think I'm balanced? Do you think I need to lean more to one side to the other? And by all means, all you guys, send me stories. But what do you think?
I think you're doing a great job. I think what you're putting out is very helpful. It's definitely helpful for me when I first came down here. to kind of be on guard a little bit. But I think sometimes, you know, people always want to hear the bad side of things. It's no different than any other news channel. The news always report the bad stuff, and it's what sells. You know, it's what gets people interested. But I think there's so much more to Medellin than just parque, lleras, and girls. You and I talked about this just a few days ago, is that you're not going to tell a bunch of 20-year-olds to come down here and not chase girls. I mean, that's not happening. I mean, that's what Medellin is known for, you know. So, and by you telling people to be careful of these girls, you know, they're not your girlfriend. I mean, the idea that you're going to come down here, meet a girl, and an hour later sleep with her and think that you have a relationship with her is just, it's just crazy. I mean, that's just beyond crazy in my point of view. So, and the other thing is, as far as safety goes, is that me being down here for a little over a year now, if somebody walks up to you and goes, "Hey man, how's it going? You know, where are you from?" That person is trying to scam you. I'm telling you right off the bat, he's trying to scam you. Colombian people are very private. They keep to themselves. They come up to you, they'll ask you questions, they'll ask you something very basic. You know, people always ask me about my dog, you know, but they're very different. They never ask me anything personal. So if somebody comes up to you and he's being very friendly and he's trying to be very personal. "Hey man, where you doing? Where you from? How long you been down here? Where you going?" He's a scam artist. I'm telling you right off the bat, he's a scam artist. You don't even have to waste your time with him. So my thing is, the first question I always ask myself is, how can this guy improve my life? Now, how can me talking to this guy improve my life? And if the word is he can't, then I just say, "Hey, have a nice day, sir," and I just keep on walking. Now, I'm not rude. I'm gonna say, "Get out of my face." I always just say, "Hey, have a nice day, sir," and I just keep going.
Exactly. And now Hammer has a different perspective also, because if you remember, what, 2-3 months ago, I did a few videos on the scammer. Everybody remember the scammer? It turns out he was Colombian, but he was using his American motif to get people. "Hey, I'm from New York. Hey, yeah." Oh. And if it wasn't for his bad luck that I ran into the same club that night, I would have never put his business out there. I wouldn't know who he was. As soon as I got that and I took a picture of him and sent it to somebody and they sent it back, said, "That's him." All of a sudden, stories started coming out. So we're thinking all that time it was an American, but I think his nationality was Colombian. But I'm going to guess, and I don't know if you agree or not, but my guess is he lived in the States for quite some time. He lived in New York. He knew businesses, and he knew how to talk that talk. But turns out a scammer, again, walking up extra friendly. "Hey, how you doing, buddy?" You know, and what happens is, I'm going to tell you, a lot of guys go down there. I tell them my top 3 things they need to do before they go: learn Spanish, and learn Spanish. When you can't speak Spanish, you are isolated, because most of the people that I interacted with at businesses only speak Spanish. Some speak English, but I think, and Andres, you tell me, I think they don't feel confident enough, so they don't speak it that readily. They're just comfortable in Spanish. So, I mean, the struggle is real. And if you think it's not, it's real. So you need to speak some Spanish. I speak enough. I can get by, but I'm nowhere near fluent. But that understanding is needed. They don't speak English. The struggle is real. The struggle is real. But okay, so Stephen, what do you think? Am I doing good? Am I doing bad? Am I making it seem like it's too bad? Am I making it seem like it's too good?
To me, sometimes it feels very informative, especially for any first timer that's going down to Colombia. It's better for a first timer to know all these negatives that go over there, that happens over there, and to learn how to not get got, to be honest. Me as a former Navy, I used to be in the Navy. Every time when I used to go out to different countries, before we used to go out in town, we used to getting a briefing, or an NDOC. We used to call it NDOC, but normally it's a briefing, how to behave with the locals, what to do, what not to do, etc., etc. And the way you're showing most of your videos is very informative. It's very good. Sometimes I feel that you're going a little bit all to the negative sometimes, but you counteract just sometimes putting the positive as well. But overall, for me, it's very informative. You could stay up to date with anything that's happening down there, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, my stories come from the news there, and I don't report on everything. I mean, I don't repeat stories that are just. There's some crazy stuff. Let's face it. In Colombia as a whole, I mean, I read a lot. There's some crazy stuff here too, for those who say, you know, in the U.S. we got this and we got that. I don't vlog in the United States. I'm not vlogging about the United States. I'm going to do it for Houston, but I'm not doing it for the U.S. And that's why I don't focus on those things. I focus on Colombia. So every day I look at the news when I first wake up and see what's going on. Halfway through the day, I look at it again and see what's going on. And everybody's safe, everything good. And then I have to come up with something, but it's a balancing act. And I don't know if you see, but there's no team here. It's just me. So one that has to find the content, that has to create the videos, that has to edit the videos, that have to deal with the sound and the microphone and all, everything, and then putting it out in the keywords and the description and the title and the image and the thumbnail. All this stuff matters. But the only reason I made it to 10,000 is just, I think, just sheer grit and continuing. And that's why I tell people, if you want to do it, just don't stop. But everybody needs to know, I could easily pay somebody $10 a week to go down and videotape girls' butts, and I'll be rich. I could do that. I'm not suggesting you do that, viewers, but I'm telling you, I could do that. But don't do that. I'm just going to suggest you don't do that. But let me see, what's my next question? Okay, well, I meant to ask this early on too. Well, I still have you, Stephen, and I'll go back around because I want to end on Andres on this one. What else is there to do than parque lleras? I know, obviously, and Andres knows I know. What is it? I mean, what else do you do in Medellin, Colombia? And I'm not other than, but what else is there to do? What do you do in your free time?
Normally during my free time, a lot of time, as you probably know, when I go down to Colombia, I blog. I make a lot of videos to a lot of places. Normally, because I stay in the northern part of Colombia, I like to visit different neighborhoods, see the locals, how they work, how they interact with people. I love trying out new food. Trying out new food in the average Joe neighborhood is great because you actually can feel more the authenticity of a local, especially of urban Colombia in Medellin. Yes, for first timers, it's good to go to not Parque Lleras, but El Poblado side, because there's a lot of tourists over there. But sometimes, like in my personal, I sometimes feel like it's more commercialized over there than going to a regular mom and pop restaurant in one of the local neighborhood. Because a lot of these local restaurants, the food is amazing. It's more authentic in my point of view. Outside of the city, I like to go outside of Medellin, just nearby. Like on the last trip I was down there, I went to that glamping. I forgot, in Santa Elena, visiting Santa Elena, just outside of the city. Also, I like to visit Santa Fe de Antioquia, Guatapé. There's a lot of attraction to see outside of the city. But inside the city, there's a lot of things to do. Like you went there, I went there to climb the hill, the Tres Cruces. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was a challenge. That was a challenge for me because I'm originally from New York, so New York City is on sea level. So as Medellin is like, I'm not sure, like 2,000-3,000 feet above sea level, and then climbing up a mountain. I mean, it takes a toll out of you, especially breathing. But there's a lot of things to do. I mean, local restaurants, local malls, parks, like especially that park that's above the mountain. I forgot what's the name of it, but it's that you got to take a tram to go up there. Not a tram, but
Parque RV?
Parque RV, yes, that one, yes. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of things to do.
Yeah. Okay, how about you, Hammer? What do you do for fun, for free? We know golfing, and you tell me, I can show some of the videos during this too, the golf course.
Yeah, man, I'm a avid golfer. I love to play golf. I play at least 3 times a week now that I joined the club. I love going to the gym. You know, I love going to little hole in the wall restaurants. I refuse to eat anything that's, symbolizes American. Burger King, McDonald's, Papa John's, Kentucky Fried Chicken. I just completely stay away from those places and always try something new. I mean, there's so many different restaurants down here. There's so many cheap places that you can eat down here. I mean, you can literally go out, and eat for, $5 or $3. And those are the places that I like to try. You know, not some fancy restaurant. You know, although I do go to those sometimes. You know, it's not some, you know, white tablecloth place, but just some little mom and pop hole in the wall. I mean, those are the places that I like to try. I mean, I love to get out and walk. I mean, I love going to, there's so many parks here. There's so many dog parks here. And me having a dog, I mean, I get out and I meet so many people who are always, hey, man, you know, have you tried this or have you tried that? You know, they're always friendly. I met a lot of good people down here that I'm friends with who are always, Colombians love to party. They love to have parties at their house and invite people over. I mean, to me, that's fun. And those are the things that I like to do. It's just hanging with some local people, some good local people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, ain't nothing like a good house party. And while I get to Andres next, Hammer, can you sit your phone just so it's like propped up? Because it's moving a little bit. Okay,
Sure.
hey, Andres, I saved you for last on this one for obvious reasons. You know you have what to do. And for everybody, I want everybody that has not taken a tour in Colombia, you just went down there and went to parque, lleras and drank and got with the girls or whatever, but there's a whole lot more to do than just parque, lleras. So, and we did quite a bit when I was there with Andres. I need to redo some of my videos and just to show some of the stuff that I did when I was there, because I haven't re-shown them, and I have a lot of new viewers that haven't really seen what goes on there. Like Tres Cruces, I almost died. I thought I was going to die. I was like, we're almost there? No, we just started. So Andres, okay, give us a list. What should they do? Which tours are better than others? Which things should they do for free? What parts of town? What parks? And so on and so on. What do you think?
So everything depends, of course, of your tastes, what you like to do, and how do you want to spend your time in a new city. If it's either like terms of cultural stuff, there's lots. And for example, you can easily get on the metro. Some people are scared because they don't speak Spanish, but the metro has only 2 lines. So it's kind of hard to get lost, right? It's only 2 lines. It is about 70 cents, and you can just ride along the metro, and you can hop off different municipalities. Remember that Medellin is in a valley, and in that valley, there's more than 9, there's actually 10 municipalities inside the valley. And most of them are connected by the metro. And that's basically for free. Something to do for free is to go on the metro and hop off in different stations of those municipalities, and you can go to the, for example, the parks. Let's say, for example, Sabaneta, La Estrella, Envigado. These are parks, and it's like almost like going into a town just next to Medellin, and that's really cool stuff. If you mix it as well, if you like to try out new food, street food, or those kind of restaurants that my partners are saying, which I really love and I identify with that, that's a great plan to do that. Also, if you like outdoors, Medellin is Medellin is in a mountain and surrounded by more mountains. So if someone is into hiking, there's just so much to do inside of Medellin, like Cerro de las Tres Cruces, and like that one. And for example, the mountain where we went, Rob, to El Faro, that's another one for hiking as well, if someone wants to go up. And like that, there are more mountains. And outside of Medellin, starting from 30-minute drives to as long as you want to drive, there's plenty of hikes. Beautiful waterfalls, everything stays green all year, so you get very good weather. So it's out of what you want to do, and there's plenty to choose. Definitely one that I recommend that breaks stereotypes is the one we did, Rob, the night tour in the city center. It's one of my best and like preferred tours to do, because it definitely breaks a whole stereotype in your mind, and you find what you can do really nice in the city center at night, which is an area of the city center. I'm not saying walk around city center everywhere, just that area. But that area is definitely worth it to see a whole different scene that you can see over in Poblado and Indigado, for example, at night, and to see like more authentic stuff, more real.
Mm-hmm. And I was gonna follow it up by asking you, what was your favorite? So that's your favorite tour down there. Were we actually in El Centro?
Yeah,
we were near the set. I mean, we got off at San Antonio, right? So we were right there.
Right there, like center of the center.
But it was fine. I mean, I didn't think, you know, we say now, don't go to El Centro, don't go to El Centro at night. But I will tell others, when you go with a local, like Andres, who just walks around like, you know, he's in Poblado, you have that lack of fear too. Still don't walk around, you know, oh, I got a new iPhone. Here, check my new gold chain. I mean, don't do that. But yeah, we walked around from a few different places, from there to that hotel. And check that video out. You know, I'll redo that video too, because I mean, we stumbled into a few places. Some little hole in the wall. Remember some little hole in the wall that had like, I mean, it had plants and tropical, and then it had stuff on the wall. There was some guys playing the guitar in the back. You remember that? And then it turns out one of them was from in one of my neighborhoods. That's right. You will go to Colombia and meet some people from your hometown. It's the weirdest thing. People go there from all over.
Yeah.
But by the way, Hammer needs to get in touch with you, because we were talking before you logged on. He wants to do the El Faro tour, and he's a hiker. So show me how you hike, Hammer, because I'm gonna tell you, I did three cruises. Three cruises one day, and then come back down at night, which don't do that either. And then I paraglided, where they drive you, but they don't drive you to the top. You still have to walk. So I was still tired from the day before. Then I did that tour with Andres. And we drove all around the road. We got up there, and it's like, okay, now we're going to walk up here. And I was like, man. So be ready to do some hiking. You will lose some weight. Chances are when you're there, you will lose some weight. So, but make sure, well, let me ask you this. Out of all of your tours, give me your top 3 that people should do. If they're there for 5 days, give me 3 tours that they should do.
I'll definitely put on number 1, like I said, city center at night. I would put in this number 2, El Faro. It's definitely worth it if you are more into getting to know locals and get a whole different perspective of Medellin, and have a genuine, deep conversation with someone from Medellin. One of the peripheral neighborhoods, and in English, because we work along with another local that speaks English. And in the number 3 that I really recommend is more of a outdoor stuff. It's a hike to a waterfall in Indigado. It takes half a day, and you start in close to the parque of Indigado, and 20-30 minutes later, you're feeling to the jungle. It's amazing. It's so close to the city, but you're already surrounded by trees and plants all over. And that takes about a half a day. That's a hike to a waterfall tour. I would say number 3.
Okay. One thing I think a lot of people overlook is, you mentioned tropical. Everybody's mentioning tropical, but until you go there, you don't really get what tropical is. It's like being in a clean jungle, especially walking around in Poblado. I mean, you will hear, some of the guys going down don't care nothing about tropical or whatever, but, and I don't know if it's an age thing, but I like getting out of the concrete city and getting, in nature. And that's about as nature as you're going to get. You will hear birds that you've never heard in your life. You will see birds and some animals that you've never seen in your life before. It's amazing to wake up and hear those sounds and be in a tropical environment. It's amazing. So take advantage of other things other than parque lleras is one reason I wanted to do this video. So I appreciate you all for jumping on with me. But I wanted everybody to know that there's other things going on there, and that it's not all bad at all. And matter of fact, it's very little bad. I'm focusing on videos. I'm taking my videos. I get my story list from the news. Okay. And then I have to add to it and massage it, but it's not all bad. Everybody that goes doesn't get got. So just, I wanted to put out this video just to let everybody know that there is another side to Medellin that you need to check out when you go. Even if you only have a couple of days, make sure you get by Sweet Georgia Cafe, number 1. As soon as you land, get to Sweet Georgia Cafe, get your bearings and so on. But then do a tour, do an evening tour, do a morning tour. Just don't climb face cruises towards the evening, because you'll be coming back down at dark, and it was sketchy. So Hammer, make sure you do that walk, man. It's intense. It's real. But the Alfaro neighborhood, when you get up there, I mean, he'll drive up there, but once you get or take the bus, and we took a bus that just got started back then when we went. I think they only had bus service like 3 or 6 months. All those people on the side of the mountain way up top didn't have bus services. They walk. But there's a path up there, and he'll walk you up to the top of the mountain too. I mean, they made a pastel de pollo, but I mean, that was good. I still remember that, man. I really nice people, really good people, and it's nice to be able to walk around with Andres and be part of the culture. If you say you like culture, that's it. That's where you're going to get it. But I have one other question too, and before I ask you, what am I missing? And that is anybody concerned about and I'll start with you, Stephen. Anybody concerned about the upcoming elections? Because from what I hear, there could be protests, there could be little violence, there could be people. I mean, they're having some issues with from what I'm reading anyway, death threats of the presidential candidate. So there's some issues there, but is anybody feeling it? And I'm going to end on Andres, of course, but Stephen, how do you feel about it?
Me personally, I do not feel like a big threat down there, even though, like, for example, my background is Hispanic and Latin America, and during elections time, especially presidential election time, things go crazy down there. People will kill some other people for just supporting another candidate. It happens, but in terms of threat in Colombia, I mean, with my source, let's say my girlfriend, that she has a lot of connections down there, she'd be telling me things that, you know what, just stay safe. They calling people up from the military to do more security stuff. And the way that I see Colombia with, like, let's say with the authorities, I mean, they're very good with security. I mean, they're very great with security. And apparently, I don't see major threat. I mean, except the usual, let's say the guerrillas, the AELN guerrillas. I mean, the FARC, they disbanded, but sorry, some of the ex-FARC people, they joined the current one. They say they're probably gonna do commotion and stuff, because probably from what I'm hearing from my girlfriend, like for example, Petro, he used to be an ex-guerrilla warfighter back in the days. So I'm not sure they probably gonna be like supporting him a lot. And I mean, as of right now, I don't see major threat, but it's good to have an open eye just in case.
Mm-hmm. Okay, how about you, Hammer?
And what I'm hearing from the local people is that sometimes it can get pretty crazy, and I'm relying on my girlfriend from this. And what we decided is that we're just gonna lay low during that president's election time. One of the things that we do is that, so we get out a lot, you know, especially on Sunday, to go to Ciclovia, and they said that it's going to be closed during that time. So like I said, it's going to be one of my first times here during an election. So I'm hearing that sometimes it can get pretty crazy. I'm not concerned about it. But what our plan is just to lay low, just to see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now you give us the from the eye on the ground. Andres, what do you think?
I think Medellin will be totally safe. This weekend will be just full of cops and militaries everywhere. So it will be like full deployment of the military to ensure that everything's safe. So if that makes you feel safe, it does to me, you will feel safe. For example, this weekend, I wouldn't recommend going way too far into rural areas. I would definitely recommend to be safe and stay in the city just for this weekend. That's it.
And the elections are this Sunday, the 29th, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That's right.
Okay, so hopefully everything stays calm. Just want to get your feedback on it. Okay, before we get out of here, did I miss any questions of importance? Anything you think I should ask you guys? Anybody, whoever has something.
Not on my side. I think it's all good.
Okay, Stephen, Hammer.
Yeah,
And I would just say, go ahead, Stephen.
no, go ahead. I just said everything is so far so good.
Yeah, I would just say, man, come to Medellin. it is an absolute great place. I mean, for me, the lack of mosquitoes is fantastic. You know?
Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't touch on. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go. Go ahead.
But man, it is absolutely a great city. It's a beautiful city. It has so much more to offer than just the chicas, than just the girls. I mean, so come here, man. You'll absolutely love it.
If you like good weather, I'm gonna tell you this: the whole time I lived there, I never shut my window and patio. One night, it got a little chilly one night, but I've never shut it. I used to sit there and work because I was still working. I'd work there, and all of a sudden I see a fly coming. Now I got, oh man, I'm thinking I'm back here. Damn, I got to get this fly out. Now I'm spending 5 minutes worrying about this fly. You know what? He went out the other side. He went out the patio door. If he came in the balcony, the balcony door, he went out the living room window. So they just disappeared. There are no mosquitoes. I didn't have any. I can't stand when it rains here and we get mosquitoes. They don't have that issue there. I mean, just being able to open your windows up 24/7 every day of the year. I mean, it may get a little chilly sometimes, but it's not going to get hot where you can't take it. And I had no AC. I had no need for AC. So I do like hot water, but I had no need for AC. So keep that in mind. I mean, I love Medellin. If people don't know, I started blogging when I moved there that first day. I'm going to recap everything because I just passed my, this weekend will be my 3-year anniversary from the day I went down there, and I started vlogging that same day. I just kept with it. Quick question, Andres. I started back then when I was there with you. Did you think I'd still be here 3 years later?
No. I honestly,
No.
I mean, when I thought no when you first messaged me, because it was, how can I just record? I had no idea of this. You know, I didn't know about your plans. But when I realized you were recording everything and you were really interested on like informing others, I think you were going to do good. But when you first messaged me like, oh, can I take my camera? I didn't think you were going to blog. I just thought you liked to video stuff for yourself, but not for this. This is going great, Rob, and I think everyone viewing should congratulate you because you do a lot of great work, and what you do takes a lot of time. Anyone that has done any video editing and try to go on YouTube knows that it just consumes so much time. And the fact that you do it along your work and upload videos so frequently, I think it's great work, man.
But I'm glad this just phased out for a quick minute, but yeah, I'm glad you see it. I don't know anybody knows it. It's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work. I have a day job, man. I have a day job. So I got to do stuff before then or on lunchtime, or I schedule things like this right after work. Well, we started at 6. I have to give myself a few minutes to get ready, but it's a lot of stuff. And then I want to record with you again. And then I missed Maria earlier. So it's a lot to this, but I stuck with it. I can tell myself, and it's been a struggle because there's many times I'll read some of the comments. Sometimes I tell myself, don't take it personally. Sometimes it's hard. Somebody says something that's just, you know, I don't know what some people's motives are, but I had to just take a step back. But I want everybody to know I love Medellin. Only one other place I love better than Medellin. Sorry. And that's Antigua, Guatemala. But, and I tell you, if you're a couple and you love your girlfriend or you love your wife, you will take her to Antigua, Guatemala. Same climate, no bugs. It's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. If you're going for the girls, and I did a versus. I did a video when I first went there. I did a difference between Medellin and Antigua. Antigua won, but for some different reasons than Medellin would. So, okay, we're going girls. Okay, Medellin. You want to, you know, the climate, it may have been Medellin. I don't remember. Cost of living, Medellin. I mean, there's Colombia. I mean, the cost of living is good. You guys know this. Hammer, you tell me too at the end of this if it's okay to run you a picture of your apartment. He's living large down there, guys. He's living good. So anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all for coming on. If I'm not missing anything else, I will release you guys of your obligation and much appreciation. And hopefully the guys who are watching this, guys and girls who are watching this video, gets benefit of this and knows that it's, don't take some of the got videos to heart, that there's nothing else going on, because there are. I'm always looking for good news. You know, Andres, I've asked you, give me some good news. I need some news. Somebody send me something good that people want to see too, and that's the key. But get down, do a tour. Oh, by the way, Stephen, give a shout out to your channel.
Yes, I have a travel channel. It is called Stes World. Normally, I everywhere that I travel, I try to record. And also, I'm an aviation fan. So when I fly, I do flight reviews as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw you leaving somewhere the other day with a short path. Was that Santa Marta?
Yes, yes, because Santa Marta has the shortest runway out of all the commercial airports in Colombia. It's just under 6,000. It's about 5,000 feet. I know, just about 5,000 feet. It's actually the runway is actually shorter than LaGuardia's airport. LaGuardia's airport is actually 7,000 feet. So it amazed me how these narrow body planes take off out of that airport, and the way they land too, because they have to do they got to press the brake, and you actually feel it when you actually landing there. And then you actually feel it when they're taking off, because they put full power, and then they release the brakes, and I mean, it's a short runway.
Well, Stes World, check out Stephen's channel. Make sure you call Andres. His information is in the description of all my videos. If you need a tour, he's my guy for tours. And get up to the top of the mountain, get up Tres Cruces and Camino Ocho. Those two are must-dos, and do the night tour too if you get downtown. And the more, the merrier. It doesn't have to be one-on-one. He did one-on-one for me because I wanted to record. I didn't want to inconvenience anybody else. So it takes, it's different. He even made up one. You created one for me for Poblado. I wanted to see the other side of Poblado, how it came to be. That video's out there. I just kept the videos and kept it going. Then also travel around the world. I want everybody to travel anywhere. Really, internationally, it changes who you are for the better, I think. I mean, so you'll see my videos for Vietnam. I want to do every place. And we were fighting to we were almost booking for it, which I got to do as soon as I get off this, booking for Panama City. Never been there. I wanted to knock off Panama. Didn't get to do it, but Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Mexico, one of you, I'm coming next weekend. So look out for me. And then big one is Cuba and Africa. And it's tough, man, because Cuba's like $1,000, $1,100. Africa's $1,000, $1,100. It's difficult. I want to go to Cuba, but I mean, obviously, I want to go to Africa.
Do it. Cuba is awesome.
Yeah. Which one?
Cuba.
Cuba. You did Cuba.
Yeah, man.
Tickets, man. You've probably been around more than I have. I've done a lot. Okay. All right, guys. And again, if I'm not missing anything, am I missing anything?
Nah, we're good.
Any last words? Okay, excellent. Thank you guys for coming on again. You guys have a good evening. Much appreciation. And we will talk soon, okay?
Thank you, Robert. Thank you very much. Bye, guys.
All right, guys. Be safe, everybody. Okay. All right, bye. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure you go down and hit subscribe. And definitely like. It helps that YouTube algorithm. You know what I'm talking about? See what I'm saying? Join me on social media. I am dcbornrob official on Instagram. I am dcbornrob official 1 on TikTok. I am dcbornrob O on Twitter. Don't be like this guy right here. You're just so stupid. I had to send you a video to let you know you're so stupid. That's right. Don't be like this guy right here. Join me on social media.
We have a YouTube channel, like it. Please comment and share if you like the video. Please subscribe and kick the bell.